we'll leave this here in case there's anybody else. Grab that. Okay. Let me go to the beginning. Okay. Put that in there. Okay. All right. Hi guys. Welcome to Diabetes Care Partners, the cooking demonstration. So thank you guys for coming today. And today we have 3 things that we're going to be making, right? And so I provided a menu for you guys, and I also provided a copy of the presentation. And so we're going to be doing 3 items. We're going to have an entree, or an appetizer, I should say, which is going to be the spiralized zoodles. Have you guys ever heard of zoodles? Like the zucchini zoodles? Yeah? Does anybody have a spiralizer that they use at home?
Yes.
Yeah? No? Chris, do you use a spiralizer?
No.
So I'm going to show you guys how to use it. And so instead of eating a lot of white pasta noodles, which can, you know, spike your blood sugar, and also if you're eating a lot of that, that can keep the pounds on. So I'm going to show you guys how to use the spiralizer and use fresh vegetables instead for the noodles, so that it's a lot lower in carbohydrate, more vitamins, and more healthy for you, okay? We're plant-based, so we're going to do that.
Can I see what is this?
Yeah. So it has like the little plate, and it has like the little, be careful, it has like little blades. And so the blades are to, you know, go ahead and spiralize, and you're gonna see, you just use it like a pencil sharpener.
Yeah.
And so they're pretty cheap. You can probably get one for like $15. I think I bought one on Amazon that I'm gonna sell here for like, I don't know, $12, $15. So they're pretty easy. This one I think I bought like one of the kids where they were selling something that came with like a cookbook or something, right? So you can spiralize a lot of vegetables. What vegetables do you guys spiralize? Zucchini. Yeah. You can also do, a variety. You could do eggplant, you could do sweet potato, you could do, what else was I thinking? Spaghetti squash, like there's so many different vegetables. Cucumbers, you can make like a cucumber tomato salad too. We're gonna do like a zucchini pesto tomato salad. And then for our entree, we're actually gonna have a enchilada soup. So in the past, I've made like a turkey chili taco soup. I don't know if you guys were here for that, or you guys hear me talk about it multiple times. So I thought, let me try something different. It gives you the slow cooker recipe, or if you have an Instant Pot. Has anybody heard of an Instant Pot? So the Instant Pots, they like do a lot of different things. It's like a pressure cooker, it's like a steamer. You can cook rice in there, vegetables, meat. You could leave it for 24 hours. I think some of them you could leave for 48 hours. And you set different timers and stuff. So they run like $120 or even higher. But you don't need one. You can use it with that, or you can use a slow cooker, or you could do it the way I'm going to do. I'm going to modify it so that you can make it much quicker. And then we're going to have these amazing pumpkin, flaxseed, walnut, chocolate chip, dark chocolate chip, which is more heart healthy, muffins that I've been making. And I use something called Kodiak cakes. Have you guys ever heard of this? No? Yeah, you did? I had never heard of it until I had saw the recipe, and I was like, what is this? So it's more whole grain. So if you look at the ingredients, there still is some added sugar here. So that's because I got the pumpkin one. But they do have ones that are not flavored. And you could even use it, a lot of my patients say they'll use it for pancakes instead of like the Bisquick or Aunt Jemima, which is not as healthy for you. It's more enriched flour, but this is more whole grain. So, you know, half of our grains are supposed to be whole grains. So this would be really good to make pancakes or muffins. And so I actually take the sugar out of the recipe that I'm going to make. So I actually already have them made for you, but I'm going to show you how to do it as well. Okay.
Where do you get those?
The only place that I know of thus far, and I'm sure they have it at like Whole Foods and Sprouts, but I got it at Target. Yeah, I got it at Target. Okay, so this is what our objectives are for today. So we're going to learn how to modify and create healthy recipes, just like I told you guys. You know, one of the oils, well, a couple of the oils that I use is olive oil, which is, you know, very heart healthy. very Mediterranean, very, again, good for your heart, good for diabetes, good for your cholesterol. So you don't want to use a lot of like vegetable oil or palm oil or things like that, because those are bad for your heart and they clog your arteries. So definitely the oils that we're using today are much better. And then for the muffins, I'm actually going to use coconut oil, and I'll show you a trick too when I'm making them, because the first time I made them there was like little white chunks of coconut, and I'll tell you why. I'm sure you know if you use coconut oil. And we're going to also understand the health benefits of using these different foods. Definitely want to save you time while you're cooking if you're not into cooking a lot, as I wasn't in the past. It can be very frustrating. You know, it can be time consuming. It can be a lot of, you know, cleanup and preparation, but it's definitely worth it. Of course, it takes me a lot more preparation when I'm doing a cooking demo, but if you're just making for your family of 4 or something and you're making one recipe, it's actually not that hard when you get used to what you have to buy and how you're going to make it and stuff. And then we're going to learn how to cook these easy recipes. So one of the things you want to do when you are shopping at the market for your ingredients is to look for lower sodium options. Does anybody do that right now? Yeah? What are some of the things you do?
I usually use the low sodium chicken broth.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And, the lesser sodium, like on the vegetables.
Yes.
Because in the cooking channel they said you could always add your own salt.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't take it out.
Exactly. So like my canned vegetables have no salt added right in the front. And so if you look in the back, it actually is only, for half a cup is only 10 milligrams. And there's 3.5 servings in this whole thing. So it's not that much, right? Compared to, you know, other ones. And you can also like put it in a strainer and rinse off any extra sodium as well, which is nice, right? We also have the chicken broth, and so you don't have to go organic. I just did because this one had the least amount of sodium at the market. I had went to Food for Less, so this one has 70 milligrams for a cup, and there's 4 servings. So that's 280 milligrams in the whole thing, and we're going to use 3/4 of this. So we're getting, you know, about what, 210 milligrams of sodium from the chicken broth. Okay, so you definitely want to look for lower ones, because a lot of those for just 1/4 of the serving is like 500 milligrams already. So can you imagine? That's already 2,000 milligrams in the whole thing, and I'm telling you we're getting around 200. So it cuts it back by a lot, right? And then you want to, again, rinse your canned items, right? You want to use maybe like Mrs. Dash seasoning versus regular seasoning. So that's that was actually for another recipe that we had for the turkey chili taco soup. But any kind of seasonings, like if you don't want to use, if you don't have a lot of like your oregano and thyme and all these cumin and all these things, you can use like a Mrs. Dash seasoning, Italian or whatever you're making, right? So we could have did that for the pesto that we're gonna make, but I'll show you how to make it really easy. And then use lean meats. So what are some examples of lean meats? Turkey, right? Like ground turkey. You want to do the leanest possible, right? They have lean, they have extra lean. What else? What else are some lean meats?
7%, something like that.
So like the 93% and lean and 7% fat. Yeah, sure,
Right.
Exactly. So chicken breast, right? So yeah, you could do the leaner choices of ground beef, right, or the chicken breast, but definitely we want to try, the message I want to make is to try to do more plant-based. So what are some other sources of protein besides, you know, beef and steak and chicken and fish? Beans, right? Legumes, lentils, any kind of beans, right? Garbanzo beans. And today, in our enchilada recipe, we're actually going to be using black beans, right? And so on our black beans, it also says no salt added. And so this one only has 10 milligrams of sodium for half a cup, right? So that's pretty good, right? So we want to look for fat-free on any kind of our, like, if we get refried beans, which is again for the turkey chili soup, we want to do the fat-free. So a couple of these recipes came from skinnytaste.com, so I just modify them. And so the turkey chili taco soup is actually on skinnytaste.com as well as the enchilada one. For the pasta, again, we're going to replace it with the zucchini, the squash, right? And then adding like vegetables, okay, to your dishes. Like if you have, let's say you're making rice and beans or something. So then what could you add to that so you get less carbohydrate? Because beans are carbohydrate. They have protein, but they're also carb. Rice is a carbohydrate. What could you add to that that's not going to give you high carb, but also vitamins and low calories and dark green colors and
Cilantro, tomato, fresh tomato.
exactly. Cilantro, tomato, onions, bell peppers, zucchini, the squash, all those, eggplant, lots of vegetables, right? So that's really good. And it'll help you with your weight loss goals or maintaining your weight if that's what you need, right? Again, we're going to make a homemade sauce today. Instead, we're going to make pesto, really simple, a few ingredients instead of buying it from the jar because it's much healthier. Anytime you buy anything in a package or a jar, it's processed, right? So we don't want that, okay? All right. Any questions yet? Okay. So what are some of the health benefits? And so lower sodium options reduce your risk for heart disease, can help with controlling your blood pressure, and also keep your kidneys healthy because when we eat extra sodium, it puts strain on our kidneys. We also, using the leaner meats, they provide lower calories and less of the bad fat. Good source of protein. They can also lower your cholesterol to decrease the risk of heart attack and stroke. So again, just really trying to do more lean proteins. You could do egg whites instead of a lot of eggs, although the egg yolk is, there's a lot. Everybody asks me like, so what is it with eggs? Are they good? Are they bad? And the egg yolk still provides some benefits, especially to your eyes. So I would say, if you do have a cholesterol problem, then maybe keep the egg yolk to maybe 3 times a week. Otherwise, the egg whites, you can have as much as you'd like. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, battery's running low. Oh, you caught it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So we want to replace our starchy carbs, with vegetables, plant-based, to decrease the amount of carbohydrates that we have in the meal to make it diabetes friendly. But again, even with diabetic friendly, can you guys have fruit? Can you guys incorporate fruit into your meal or as a snack?
Yes,
Yes. Why?
because it has fiber.
It has fiber. And what does fiber do? Yes, digestion slows the release of the sugar into your bloodstream and helps improve digestion and helps keep you fuller longer, promotes satiety. Absolutely, yeah. And yes, fruit has what? What does it have? Sugar. And so everybody's scared to eat it, but it is okay. Just eat it in portion control, right? So we can't have on a hot day, have half of a watermelon. No, we have to have like a cup or 2 max, right, at a time, and then maybe combine it with your protein source, right, like cottage cheese or something, right? So let me just click on that. Okay, so homemade items decrease the amount of sodium, sugar, and added preservatives, right? And so it may take a little bit of time, but again, once you perfect, the recipes, it becomes easier, and you're going to be so much happier because it's kind of, for me, I never liked to cook. My grandma always used to cook, and I never got that skill from her. I had to learn it later on because we do want our family to be healthy and ourselves to be healthy, right? And so you kind of feel positive, you feel good, everybody, you feel, it's almost like a love thing, right? Like, here, I made this for you. It's like a gift, right? And it's healthy, and it keeps your family healthy. So buying low sodium, we have here beans, chicken, tomatoes, chilies. You can do all of that in canned items. So instead of cooking our chicken today, because we don't have a convenient kitchen here, so I just got the canned chicken, But again, you can cook your chicken at home. I did make this enchilada soup recipe on Sunday because I wanted to test it out. And I did cook my chicken with the olive oil and onions and garlic, like I'm going to show you, but we're not really cooking it. We're just giving it flavor and throwing it in there and heating it up, right? But which is easier. I mean, if you're in a time crunch and you're like, I just don't have time to cook this chicken, or it's not defrosted or something, you can have some canned chicken. And you want to try to get, this one says 97% fat-free. So yeah, you're right, 97% fat-free. Okay, and this one here, it does have 260 milligrams of sodium for 2 ounces, and there's 5 servings in the whole container. So it could be very high in sodium, but you gotta remember that you're not gonna eat all of the chicken in the recipe, right? So you definitely, you know, don't wanna, you wanna have a little bit of the chicken, a lot of the vegetables and broth, and you know, you're doing a variety, but we're definitely cutting back the sodium by not using heavy sodium chicken broth, by using everything no salt added, by rinsing our vegetables, all of those types of things.
So
okay?
would we rinse the chicken also?
You can, yes, absolutely. Because I don't have a convenient sink, I'm not just for today, but yes, definitely you have a strainer, go to your sink. It's super easy, right? Rinse it off. Yes. You can also buy your produce pre-cut. Has anybody seen the zoodles already prepared?
I've seen them.
Yeah, the only problem is they can be a little bit more expensive, but if you're just like, you know what, I want to try it first, I don't want to like take the time to buy a spiralizer or do it myself, you can. I've seen, I shop at Target a lot, I'm not promoting them, I'm sure they have them everywhere, but I know there it's like almost like $5, $6 for it. I think it makes like a cup, maybe a cup and a half of the zoodles, which isn't very much. So it's so much cheaper to buy your zucchini. I think I paid 78 cents a pound or something like that. So it's so much cheaper if you take the time to invest in a spiralizer, which might cost you like $20 for a good one, but then you have it and now you know it's pretty cheap, okay? And if you are like, oh, I can't live without pasta noodles, are you crazy? You know, then maybe do half of your pasta and half of your zoodles, right? So now you at least have some vegetable in there. Because I don't know about you guys, but realistically, like me growing up, it was just all the white enriched noodles and the Prego pasta sauce in the jar. It wasn't, you know, anything besides that. So, you know, we gotta, you know, try to make some changes, and it might need to be more realistic. So here's our menu for today, right? And so we got the spiralized zucchini noodles with tomatoes and pesto. We got the chicken enchilada soup and the healthier chocolate chip and walnut pumpkin muffins. Yes. All right, so let's go on here. So we're going to start with the spiralized zucchini noodles with tomatoes and pesto. And so for the pesto, we need a cup of packed fresh basil. Lately, when I've been going to find the basil in the market, they've been coming as a plant. I cannot just find it there. I'm sure like Trader Joe's and places like that will have it there, but I've been going to I went to Vaughn's and Food for Less, and I could only find it in the plant version. So we have a cup of our basil, and then it also calls for a clove of garlic, which I went ahead and put already. Okay, so we're gonna throw that into our food processor. Okay, so nice and easy to make, and we already washed these and everything, so nice and easy to make our sauce. Okay, and then we have a 4th cup of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. So I pretty much just have everything ready to go before you guys came. So the 4th cup of Parmesan cheese, so I got it right here. So some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Okay, so with cheese, you know, it definitely can be a little salty, a little high in saturated fat. This one isn't too bad for 20 calories per serving. It says 5 grams is a serving, and the whole thing is 8 ounces, so it's not too bad for a small amount if you're eating a small amount. And we're doing a 4th cup. Okay, so if you're a vegetarian, you can use vegan cheese. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of put that in there. Put it in there. All right, so we got the basil, the garlic, Parmesan cheese, and we're going to do some salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put some pepper in there. Okay. So we'll just put some for now, and if you guys need more after, that's fine. I'm not going to go crazy on the salt, because although this is the only salt that you're getting, so I will pass around the salt shaker if you need. But again, remember, more heart healthy, less salt, so I don't use a lot of salt. And then we have 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which I have right here, our olive oil. So I already put the 3 tablespoons in there, and so we're just gonna go ahead and put that in there. That's it. That's all you need to make your pesto sauce.
Can you pre-make that?
Yeah, why not? Absolutely, and keep it in the fridge in a jar, in one of those like mason jars, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna chop and then puree this. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure. Do I have to turn it on somehow? Oh, make sure it's in. Oh, there we go. You want to make sure it's nice and, let me see, stir it around a little bit. This is going to be like your sauce there. So make sure to just get the sides there. Mix it up just a little bit more. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay, a little chunky, maybe a little bit more. Okay. Smells good. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we just need to do our zoodles, which is my favorite part of this whole process. And I'm going to go ahead and use this bowl here. And what we're gonna do is I got my zucchini, and I like to use this part to hold on to. And this part I like to cut off the tip a little bit. Now you guys can slice, the skin off if you like, but I like to leave it on because of the fiber, and so anything dark is good for you, dark in color there for your vitamins and fiber. And so on my spiralizer, there's two sides. It's basically for the size of your zoodles. So do you want them smaller or do you want them thicker? Let's try the thicker ones and see how that goes. So basically you hold it and that's it. And you can see, let me turn it around. It just comes out in noodles. And you just do it like a pencil sharpener, right? And pretty easy, right? So you just keep doing your zoodles. Pretty easy, not too hard. Okay, this is how you're gonna get your muscles. So you just gotta do your zoodles like that. Now you can't go all the way because, then you're gonna cut your fingers. So you go so far and then you go ahead and use another one, and you can save the rest of the zucchini. Like I like to have it with egg in the morning with my avocado toast, which I know some of you know me, I like to do that. So it kind of looks like a pencil afterwards, right? And so you can see like your little zoodles in there, yummy, right? So we can just save this for, I'll save it for breakfast tomorrow, right? And then we have.
Could you add it as if you're adding the tomato, add like chunks of.
You could, absolutely. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So you can just cut up little chunks and throw it in there with the tomato. Perfect. Great idea. So we're going to go ahead and take another one. Make sure we have enough here. And we're going to spiralize it. So this is called spiralizing your vegetables. Pretty simple, right? They do have ones that you can put it in like a machine, and it has like a, is that the one you have?
No, we have that one right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I bought this off one of my nieces or nephews. Came with the book. Right? So, yeah, I ordered one for here if anybody wants to purchase through Amazon.
Yeah,
so,
that's where we got ours.
Yeah, so see how that one is. But, yeah, I never realized how simple it was until I actually did it. And I was like, oh, it's not bad, right? Amanda, the other dietitian, actually is the one who showed me how to use it. So kudos to Amanda. I have to give her credit. So, you think you guys can do this at home? Not bad, right? Get some more vegetables in your diet. Okay, I think that's enough for all of us here. Let's see. So we have extra. We do have one more. Maybe I may go ahead and make the other one just in case. Make sure we have enough. And then after that, I'm just gonna put the sauce in and the tomatoes, mix it up. We're good to go. If you guys wanna throw a little extra Parmesan or salt and pepper on top of yours, more than welcome to. This will be our appetizer. I guess the only thing I noticed when I was doing this the other day is they're kind of long. So you kind of have to like, I think we were using like food scissors to cut them last time.
Depending on how big it is, the zucchini you start with, right?
That's true, that's true. And like, let's say you just use half a zucchini. What I would make sure to do is before sticking it back in, cut it straight off. Otherwise it's not gonna work very well, because I did that the other day and I was like, oh, that's not working. Okay, so we got our lovely zoodles, yummy. And this sauce smells so delicious. And so we're gonna go ahead and put that, let's see if I can take this off. Oh, here we go. We're gonna put that onto our zoodles, okay.
You don't really eat those raw?
Yeah, I do with this recipe. So this is a raw recipe, but you're welcome to like, you know, saute them with a little bit of olive oil, onion, garlic, but I like it just like this.
Have you cooked these before?
Yeah, I have, but I prefer them raw. Because to me, they're a little too soft for me when I cook them. So it's up to you, however you like them.
Be careful how long you cook them, because they do get really soft.
Mushy.
Like mushy,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's why I preferred it this way, because I was like, oh, it's too mushy for me, right? And so we have our cherry tomatoes, which we already washed. So I'm just going to throw them in there. Yummy! And then we're just going to mix it all up here. Let's see, I think I can just use this, but if I need something else, I will. Maybe just use this too, which I brought. I'm just going to mix it up, and that's it. And you are done.
No cooking, huh?
No, well, I call this cooking. But it's much easier, right? Especially maybe like on a hot day, right? We're in sunny Southern California. Even in winter, it's like, what, 70-something degrees still? And it's, you know, it's not too cold out here. And so it's much easier to make. It's really good, right? Okay, so you guys ready to try it? Lovely. I'll just show the camera what it looks like done real quick. Put the tomatoes on the top. Yummy. Okay, so there it is, your zoodle pesto tomato pasta. Yeah, it's pretty. Okay.